Jamar.
What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is boy Marty for here once again. Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamar for here once again, and we're here to record episode, what is it, three of Empire. And so a lot of people were saying that, Empire was kind of slow. It was, kind of going at an pace, but I think it picked up a little bit this episode. I think, the storylines are coming into their own. Things are starting to occur and unravel, and I think it's heading in a good direction that we've been waiting for the show to get into. So, the episode starts off where Cookie comes in. Well, actually, it starts off, of course, we on Lucia's out of jail and whatnot, and of course the prosecutor bitch, she's pissed because we saw last week that she gagged over them damn that court hearing when the dude showed them pictures of the judge in compromising positions. So Cookie is up here looking for Hakeem because he's supposed to be doing a performance or whatever, getting ready for something, and he puts away the bong, puts away all the drugs and signs of sin and sex out of his room. And so he answers the door. I think he had his shirt off and whatnot. I'm like, ooh, okay. Hakeem always had that body, though. He always had that body. And so Cookie figures out that he's been fucking the damn lead Latina actress, Selena Gomez looking chick. And I'm just like, oh, okay. All right. She just found out, so she's like, oh, so you fucking the damn lead singer of your group? Oh, that's just dumb as hell. So like we said, Lucius is out, but he's been banned from going into the Empire building. But he's like, well, shit, that don't matter to me because either way it goes, I'm still gonna be Empire regardless. I'm just like, oh, okay. So Hakeem is at this studio for Sway in the morning. I don't know if this is supposed to be like their version of the Breakfast Club or what, but he, he's trying to ask, like, how does your father feel about, you leaking the album or whatever? He's like, well, you got to ask him. Now, I didn't think he was going to actually call the motherfucker on the phone, so I'm just like, oh, shit, okay, well. And he called him, and he was just like, he tried to keep it professional, like, well, he has a lot of growing up to do, and this, that, and the fourth. And so he was like, well, he can't really stop me because guess what? He was in prison. Trying to throw a little jab at him. I'm like, okay. Hakeem, it seems like the son's relationship with their father just kind of be going back and forth. Sometimes they with him. Sometimes they, then they go back and they're like, no, fuck that nigga. Then it's like, well, that's my daddy. It's just kind of back and forth. Like, I'm really confused as to Jamal's whole stance on this. I think I've seen a lot of people say it on Twitter as well. Like, I don't know where his newfound love for his father came from all of a sudden when they tried to take over his company. I don't know why he was so like team daddy, but later on in this episode that kind of changes, but we're gonna get there. And so Sway is like, what new projects are you working on, this, that, and the fourth, and he talks about this new girl group that he's been trying to produce. And what were they called? What was he trying to call them before? Rainbow Connection or something? Shit. I said it last week. What was the name of that group he was trying to call them before that sounded ridiculous? It sounded like the name of a gay pride event. But he called them Mirage et Trois. And I'm like, okay. You know what? I know that Empire is like, a scripted, music industry type thing. But for those of us who are really into pop culture, we try to see like, okay, what if this was real? Like, would this really sell in the real world? Menage a Trois. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it rolls off the tongue like something that you want to keep. I don't know. What y'all think? Would y'all think that if a group came out with that kind of name, would you be interested in hearing what they sound like? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments below. But he pretty much promises like, are we going to get like a performance from them sometime this week? And even though Cookie was like, in that background, he was like, yeah, I could do it. She's like, oh, God damn. Well, now I got to whip these bitches into shape. So the next thing we have like this Lion family dinner, right? And this is probably like one of the most epic scenes of this particular episode. Well, one of them. So they're all here, and Andre's like, so why are we all gathered here? Like, Jamal, did you gather us all here so you can kill us all at once? You have to do it one at a time. Because, Jamal been this whole hard ass this whole season. We just trying to figure out what the hell going on. Rue? Where you at? I just want to see what you're doing. So Lucius comes in and he starts talking about, I just wanted to gather my ex-wife, my ex-son. And I'm like, damn, how you gonna call somebody your ex-son? That's kind of fucked up. I guess referring to Hakeem because he, traded against him. And he's like, I'm trying to give y'all a chance. This whole Lion Dynasty thing is gonna fall. Y'all need to come back to Empire and just forget that this whole shit even happened. And I'm trying to give y'all this chance because y'all are my family. We close. Girl, this Cookie was like, I know that Lucius was like, I know you need me to eat. So, let's just forget all this happened. Let's be a family again and, move forward from there. Cookie was like, I'll always eat. I just want to eat with you. This bitch gets up, takes now mind you, there was a whole assortment of like lamb, pork chops, ham, honey baked ham, and shit. I'm just like, okay. And she pulled the kitchen, tablecloth, pulled it, and all that shit just fell one by one. Now that was, that's a bad bitch exit. But here's my thing. First of all, when that shit was falling, the first thing that Lucius grabbed was this damn alcohol. I was like, that's like Beyonce 7-Eleven. Don't you drop that alcohol? I was like, yes, that would have been me. That would have been the first thing I saved. Fuck the food. Give me my drink. And I'm just like, that food look good though. Like, you wasted all that precious food on the floor. I know y'all got money and everything, but shit, that shit look kind of good. I'm like, hold on, let me make a to-go plate real quick. Y'all fucking up all this damn food. Hell nah. But so Lucius invited Anika to meet up with him, trying to basically say, like, I know you're not happy over there with them Lion Dynasty motherfuckers, and if you betray them for me, there may be a reward for it. And I'm just like, oh, okay. What is Lucius trying to plan here? And is Anika gonna fall for it? That's the better thing. Like, is she gonna be up to this shit? And so the last thing that we see is that she actually is like, what did you have in mind? And then just cuts off. So I'm just like, oh, bitch, Anika, I was just starting to like warm up to you just a little bit more, but now is you about to pull some shit? Is you about to pull some shit, bitch? So the next scene, we got not Anika, but Cookie and Hakeem are in the studio, and the girls are singing that little, whatever the song, I can't remember the name or what they were saying. It sounded cute, but for some reason, it sounded like, y'all remember that group Cherish? And it was like back in 2008 or 9, and they had that song that do it, 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 do it. That's what it reminded me of. I don't know why. Maybe it was the lyrics or the sound, but that's what it made me think of when whenever they were singing that song. And so he's, Cookie's trying to say, okay, we need to work on the hook. It doesn't really sound to me. So the girls were like taking 5, and while Cookie and Hakeem discussed or whatever. And then when it came time to work back up on the hook again, old girl, I think her name is Valentina, is the Latina chick. She back there on her phone like, and Cookie's like, excuse me. She looked up like, what? She's like, bitch, can you sing the damn song? She was about to try it. I was like, oh shit, you don't want Cookie to come up in the damn studio and hem you up on that wall, bitch. Because Cookie don't even give a fuck. She really don't. But I thought that was kind of funny. So, Andre, once again, meets up with Lucius, try to plead his case again. And I'm just like, why? It's just kind of sad. It's just really, really kind of sad. And of course they talk about Empire and whatnot, and him trying to come back, and it's in my blood, and why do you support Hakeem? You give Jamal the Empire, you still don't want to fuck with me. We've had this conversation already, Andre. It's just not gonna work. I know that you bleed Empire, but you're gonna have to find another life path, because this shit ain't gonna be flying, son. But he gets a call from Jamal while they're doing this meetup, and Jamal is like, there's some bitch in here named Frida, and who's talking about she need to see you, and I'm just like, who the fuck is she? Because I don't know who she is. And he's like, keep her there, keep her there. She means everything to me musically. And at first I didn't catch that, but when she was meeting up, she was like, she really want to negotiate or talk or nothing. She just want to know, okay, where's Lucius? Where's Lucius? And he was like, well, he's on his way, but you can sign these papers right here. She was like, nah, fuck that. And then the dude was like, man, there's words in here I can't even understand or pronounce or something he said. And I'm just like, well, I mean, that's not our fault. I mean, it just means you're not intelligent enough to understand the contract. That's all that is. You can't. It's not like it's fake. You just dumb enough to understand it. And she was like, nah, fuck this. My dad said that your dad said don't trust him anyway, and he crazy and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, well, I don't even think you realize it yet. When she does it, I don't think she realizes at this point, your daddy ain't saying nothing these days. Okay. And when she walks, oh, wait a minute. And so, Becky and Jamal were there, with her during the meeting. He's like, so if she means everything to him musically, where does that leave me? And I'm like, okay, now it looks like Jamal is putting 2 and 2 together to make 4, bitch. That Lucius is just trying to use you because you're the Empire. He has to keep you happy because as long as you're happy, Empire is gonna run. So, I mean, I guess he's realizing once again that his daddy ain't shit. He's really not. So, Anika comes to Cookie and tells him that Lucius is trying to throw a party in his own honor, and Jamal's going to be performing and doing all this other stuff. And so Cookie is, of course, every time Cookie gets in Anika's presence, she has to read her for filth and just say all sorts of crazy shit. And I'm just like, y'all, I mean, I don't feel like Anika deserves it at this point. I think she's, redeemed herself. I'd say that she kind of, I feel like her loyalty, well, maybe not completely. I'd still keep a raised eyebrow with this bitch. I'm still, keep my eye on her. But for right now, I ain't gonna give her no shit. If I was Cookie, I wouldn't give her no more shit. I think she's enough. I think she's done enough. But she wants to, she tells him about the party, and this is where I believe, like, okay, this kind of proves that Anika's kind of on our side. She's not really, going with what Lucius wants her to do. So I'm like, okay, now we feel like we can trust her a little bit more. So we get to this party that, Lucius is throwing, and Jamal and Pitbull are having this song. Now, mind you, I said on Twitter that, because we always talked about, Jamal's voice. He can sing, but sometimes he gives me that sheep type thing going on. But with this, this dance song with Pitbull, it actually sounded really good. I'm like, well, maybe this is where he belongs. Maybe this is what suits his voice is, up-tempo dance music, because some of the other songs just be sounding, that Old MacDonald had a farm sheep type vocal. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's not bad, but I just can't listen to it for an extended period of time. But people are talking about that Pitbull. Why does he always have to say Mr. Worldwide every single song that he ever does ever? I'm like, we know it. We get it. We know you're from Miami. We know you go and travel the world. We get it. What else you got? And they said it sounded like a Pitbull and Neo song, which it did. It did. But, I mean, who's to complain? But then all of a sudden, some bitch throws out a smoke signal or not a smoke signal. What's that thing called? Whatever the little grenade, the thing that looks like a grenade that puts up smoke and shit. And then Cookie comes up on the goddamn mic, talks about she crashing the party and she about to bring out Lion Dynasty's #1 artist, Hakeem. And he starts performing. And Lucius just sitting there with the dumb face like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? But it was hot though. Whatever that song was, that shit was kind of cute. What I wanted to say was, in this particular scene, was it just me, or did Cookie kind of look like a drag queen? It seemed like she had like the big hair, the big long hair, the very gaudy necklace, she had the sequenced waist or the cinched waist and everything. I'm just like, I mean, it didn't necessarily look bad, but I'm like, this is an attire I would expect on a drag queen. All right, Cookie Girl. All right. Um, so the next thing we get to, the girl group is fighting. Valentina's being a big ass diva and shit. And then Andre and Cookie come in, and Andre decides to tell Cookie about the fact that he is about to be a daddy. And he's like, well, why haven't you told Lucius about it? Because I don't feel like I have to. And she's like, well, sometimes if you want to get what you want out of Lucius, you're going to have to pull on those heartstrings. So when he does tell Lucius about the baby, Lucius is kind of like, I mean, he seemed excited at first, but then he's like, well, what about the baby's mental illness? What about the bipolar? And Andre's like, bipolar doesn't run in my family. Then we go back to that flashback to when, you know, Lucius is a child and he's with his mother, and his mother is they like, I don't know if they were like opening Christmas presents or, you know, they was doing something. I wasn't really sure what it was they were doing, but, you know, she's all excited about all these gifts and presents and stuff, and he's just kind of like, we have to take this stuff back, we have to eat or something. I wasn't sure if she was like spending money on stuff when they're supposed to be spending money on food. You know, it's kind of like those flashbacks are like, we kind of piece it together, whatever we make of it. So Forest Rocks on her review actually explained it, because I didn't understand completely what was happening that first flashback. Like, she just started to look off in the distance. I thought she heard something, but I didn't know she was supposed to be like, you know, mental or whatever. But I guess now, I don't know why Lucius is like keeping this a secret, that his mom, you know, was bipolar as well, and it's probably why he's bipolar. So that's why he's like, well, this kind of does run in our family. So I don't know why he's trying to keep it a secret, but I guess we'll figure that out later on in the season. So Frida, or what they've been calling this girl Devloaf. They've been calling this girl Fantasia's little sister. They've been calling her everything. So she's in this little freestyle battle against some dude in some park in the ghetto somewhere. And, you know, she spits her little thing, and it was cute. And then the other guy, he doesn't even spit it nearly as long, and he said something about the fact that her daddy got smashed or something, or the fact that he got killed, or something. Something hit a nerve, bitch. And she pulled out the Glock. She was about to be like, blah, blah, blah. She was about to be ready, but Lucius grabbed her. She sit up there trying to struggle. She's still shooting and shit. I'm like, oh shit, y'all know niggas will scatter like roaches when a shot get fired, bitch. We don't care. The hardest motherfucker will get the fuck out of Dodge when that damn shots get fired. And so he tries to tell her that, you know, you don't have to do this. This is not what you want. You know, this is not what your father wanted for you. Let me save you. Let me help you, bitch. And they still run off and shit. And his lawyer is like, we got to get you up out of here because we just got you out of jail. We can't be having you at the damn crime scene. So Cookie's in the studio working with the girls, you know, on the choreography, trying to get their stuff together, because Hakeem asked them, blubbered the damn secret, and said that he got to have these bitches in this performance by the end of the week. So she's like, well, since we're going to do it, we got to get this damn work going. So they try to do the choreography and whatnot, and she's making them do push-ups and shit. And Valentina was like, look, I'm a singer. I ain't a fucking soldier. I'm like, see, what you don't realize is that to do like singing, performing, and, you know, all that requires stamina, girl. She said everybody wants to be Beyonce, don't know when they're going to put in the hard work. Because to do what Beyonce does, to sing and still be able to perform and give that energy and dance or whatever, that takes stamina. And to build stamina, you have to practice. You have to build up, you know, endurance for your body, which means you have to do the push-ups, you have to do the exercising, you have to, you know, so that your body can use to doing the breathing exercises, so you can have the proper, you know, breathing for your, you know, singing and dancing. You know, all of this is, you know, you're not just going to get out there and just because you can sing can perform at the same time. It's not going to work like that. So Cookie reads her and she was like, so you think just because you slept with my son, it's going to be easier for you? She was like, I don't need to sleep with nobody to get where I want. Well, she's like, well, prove it then, bitch. Drop and give me 20. So after that, eventually they get their shit together and their choreography look all tight and it's all cute. So this is the end of the episode. This is where the shade comes. So Cookie has, you know, the girl group waiting for Valentina, their lead singer, to come to do this performance or this appearance or whatever at this morning show, and she's late. So they're like, where's this bitch? Where's this bitch? We try to call her. We waiting on her or whatever. And Lucius comes in, and he's like, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And he's basically like, Empire embodying all the urban markets or something to that effect. And the girl, Valentina, walks in, and she's like, oh, so you basically trying to cancel, they trying to cancel your performance. And Lucius is like, well, no, she's our next guest. He's like, what you mean? He's like, I just signed her this morning. Y'all, Cookie was like, oh, bitch. And then Hakeem's face just looked hurt. Hakeem was just looking at him like, really? For real? You just gonna do me like that? I was like, oh, and she was like, I'm sorry, Hakeem. I'm like, oh, damn, that means that your dick was nothing. You did not lick the pipe like you thought you laid that pipe, girl. In that damn bathtub last season, or last week. I was like, damn. And now she up on the damn, doing the interview, just left them other two bitches to the side and got a damn song already. I'm like, what song was she performing? Was she performing her own song? Or did her and Lucius produce a song in a matter of hours? I'm like, what song is she performing here? But that was the episode. But before we close, did y'all see the preview of next week when I guess the FBI is raiding Empire and Cookie gets arrested? And she's like, if I die in police custody, I did not commit suicide. I was like, that's salute to Sandra Bland. I was like, she was letting y'all know, if I just come up dead, do not believe that I commit suicide. These hoes killed me. Okay? So Empire is looking more and more, more and more interesting as we go along, and I'm interested and excited to see where they're gonna take it. But thank you guys so much for watching this here review. Let me know what you thought about the episode in the comments below. I'll be responding, and let's keep the conversation going. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington, Washington.